Good evening, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin Rocket, and tonight I'm going to speak to you quite clearly and quite urgently about Tommy Robinson. Currently, from what I understand, Tommy is being held in high security prison, and he's in solitary confinement. He's currently being stopped from seeing his family and having visitors. He's currently being stopped from making phone calls. He's currently being stopped from purchasing food for himself, and he's had all his visitation rights removed. Now, this man's a civil prisoner. I mean, if you're asking for my opinion on the matter, the punishment does not fit the crime anyway. He shouldn't be in prison. He should be at home on a tag at worst. They're having to report to the police station on a daily basis at worst, so they know where his whereabouts are, what he's doing. But what I will say is that there seems to be only one decent politician in the whole of the House of Parliament, and Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe, God bless him. I mean, the man is an absolute, I mean, he's probably going to end up having to fall on his own sword. The way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me, because by Reform's own standards, as it currently stands, Rupert Lowe wouldn't be able to join the party. So I think maybe Rupert Lowe is treading onto some rocky ground right now in supporting Tommy. But you know, we have to be thankful that just one man, one decent man, is standing up for him and us. Whether you like Tommy or don't like Tommy, whether you think Tommy's a racist or you don't think Tommy's a racist, it doesn't really matter. All that should matter is what is right and what is wrong. Now, I couldn't care less who you are. If your civil rights are being abused and your human rights are being abused, then you know I'll stand up for you. Believe you me, plenty of my ex-bosses have found out that, and plenty of people have found out. You know, I'll switch like that. I'll go from being on one side of the fence to the other side of the fence as soon as I realise there's a wrong being done. Yeah, and I need to stand on the side of right, because I want to be right. I want to be on the side of right. Most people want to be on the side of right, apart from our government. Our government doesn't seem to care whether they're on the side of right. They just seem to care whether they've got dominance, whether they've got control. They don't seem to care whether they're on the side of right or wrong. I mean, in fact, they seem to be quite happy when they're on the side of wrong. So but there's not one of them in the House of Parliament that has got a shred of moral fibre. Not a shred of moral fibre amongst all of them, really. Because you know they haven't. Because if any one of them had a shred of decency or moral fibre within them, they'd be standing up and saying, there's a man in prison who's being abused at the hands of the justice system and the justice secretary. You know, something must be done. Something must be done. I'm not calling. I mean, everyone's calling for free Tommy, free Tommy, free Tommy. It's a fruitless exercise. No amount of free Tommy is going to get Tommy free. You know, but I mean, we must have, like, is there not any decency? Do as a society, do you think that this is the right way to go? When we've currently got all of the problems that we've got, and we've currently got different fascist and far right groups cropping up here and there and everywhere. You know, I mean, some people will call me far right for some of the videos that I make. Some people would try to call me racist for some of the videos that I make, but I'm not racist, I can assure you of that. I have no ill feelings to anybody of any colour or culture at all. I do have a bit of a problem with people who practice religion to an extent where it can be classed as extremism. Yeah, that I've got a bit of an issue with is practicing religion to a point of extremism, and I don't care whether that's Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. It doesn't really bother me. If you want to practice your religion to an extreme, that's fine. Keep it to yourself. You know, that's my opinion. And if you keep it to yourself, the whole world will keep spinning round nicely, and everyone will be happy and ignorant. You know, it's only when you start, much like the whole trans and movement, when you start to shove things down people's throats, or people start to feel, and you can't invalidate how people feel, because how people feel is how people feel. You know, a feeling or an opinion is valid because someone has it. And you can't invalidate it. You can't take it away. You can only be aggressive and bear down on it hard with a pillow, if you get my drift. You can't invalidate people's opinions and feelings, because every individual has opinions and has feelings, so they must not be invalidated. And my feeling and my opinion is that 99.9% of the people who are serving in the House of Parliament don't have a shred of moral fibre, because if they did, they would stand up and speak for Tommy's human rights, regardless of Tommy's past record. Because let's be honest, we've heard a lot about Britain having a fantastic record on human rights, and at the moment that's not being shown, and that's disgusting, absolutely disgusting, and I'm calling it out, just the same as I will call out white fascist, far right, racist fight clubs. That's not me. That's not me, and that's not a lot of the people I know. A lot of the people I know and myself are, yeah, we've got some issues with we feel our country is being flooded with various different migrants from various different parts of the world. You know, this whole, it's far right and it's all anti-Islam and anti-Muslim. It's not. It's everybody from everywhere. There's just, you know, we feel there's too many people coming, and it's putting the country under a great deal of pressure, both socially and in terms of infrastructure. We just can't cope. But, you know, back to the whole how Tommy's being treated in prison at the moment. It's absolutely despicable, and every prison guard who's dealing with Tommy at the moment knows that the treatment he's receiving is despicable, and it goes against their guidelines, their own guidelines. Yes, the PSO 4600. Yeah, you can all check it out for yourself. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. How Tommy's being treated goes against their own prison services guidelines. So whatever's going on here is coming from up above. It's coming from up above, and they're trying to torture him, they're trying to punish him, and it's disgusting. We need to find a way, and from what I heard earlier, Tommy's legal team have put out on X, a post on X that said, you know, we may need to prepare I'm not saying we're doing it, but we may need to prepare to protest outside the prison next week, which I hope it doesn't come to that. I really do hope it doesn't come to that. And if we are going to protest outside the prison, can we try and make it a midnight mass thing, or something like that? It would be, I'd like to see people come together and light a candle and say a prayer, because right now Tommy needs our prayers. Tommy needs us to be with him in spirit and in mind and in heart. I worry for him. I do worry for him. I wasn't worried for him up until I found out they were treating him like this, and they started all of this. What we can only, it's the equivalent of British waterboarding. Truthfully, this is disgusting, and yeah, Keir Starmer, I don't know how you can look yourself in the mirror in the morning. I don't know how you can look your children in the eyes and sleep at night knowing what you're doing to a man who just wanted to tell the truth. I honestly don't know how you managed to deal with yourself. I suppose it's easy when you've got no moral fibre and you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. Your time will come too. Your judgment day will come. One day you will stand before God. And when you do, I'll be waiting in hell for you.